Adoa TV, bringing good things to life.
And welcome to the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. The news is coming to you live from our studios on the John Evans at Mills High Street in Accra. You can also watch us live on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana. My name is Benedicta Dodu. Now, our top stories for tonight's bulletin. With a day more to Christmas, one may assume that you've prepared your budget with other spice to this Christmas treat for your family or your loved ones. We spoke to some Ghanaians and they seem ready. Of the National House of Chiefs, Nana Ojiahuhuo Yao JB II has described recent actions of members of Parliament just before Parliament's adjournment as unfortunate. The strike action as planned by mobile money agents has been called off. Why this happened, we'll bring you that shortly. Sports, El Ali, for the 8th time in the history of the CAF Super Cup, has swept the championship trophy. Bringing you details of these stories and more in this bulletin. Remember, the evening news is brought to you by Verna Mineral Water and Blue City Ties and Accessories. Moving on to our first story, the National House of Chiefs has advised members of Parliament to exercise restraint and resort to dialogue and engagement on broad national issues to arrive at a consensus. Describing the recent actions of the parliamentarians as unfortunate, the president of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahuhuo Yao JB II, noted that the actions of the parliamentarians do not only affect them, but the entire nation.
This platform to urge our parliamentarians on both sides of the House to exercise restraint and resort to dialogue and engagement on broad national issues to arrive at consensus. It is just unfortunate that in recent times our parliamentarians decide to exchange blows on the floor of the House. This thing does not affect only the parliamentarians, but it affects Nananum and the good people of this country. So we are appealing to them to exercise restraint and make sure, because we believe they are all responsible people, and that is why we call them honorables. And they should always jaw instead of turning the floor of the House into arena of boxing.
Traders at the Makala market in the Greater Accra region are unhappy that Christmas is fast approaching, but business activities are not going as expected. According to them, last year, which happened to be an election year, they recorded high sales. But the narrative is different this year, as most people are not buying the usual things they buy on Christmas.
Traders at the Makola market in the Greater Accra region are unhappy that Christmas is fast approaching, but business activities are not going as expected. From the look of things, an interaction between Adoa News and the market women, the narrative has changed because last year had higher sales of products than this year. Becky, a trader who sells Christmas flowers, laments over sales recorded so far with just a day more to the festive season. I have been here since morning and no one has come to ask of anything. If people were here, I bet I wouldn't have had time to speak to you, she said. Last year's sales were better than that of this year because it was an election year and market was booming comparing to this year. I have lots of goods, but I am unable to set them up here. Lucy sells biscuits. She only reiterated exactly what was said by Becky.
Market, the market ni nyema enu. Yenyema bebre siyo, yemu bebre enye biscuits. Dize ma pena yeton biscuits. Mi se mi ton makeup. Dize ma na ye di aba biscuits. Yenyema ni nyina siyo yento. Market ni nyede yenyema bebre siyo. Anka ha obe unse kwan po ni ya. Ampa esa ya ye ni nyina siyo biscuits. Obi anto fro bi kura onto.
On Christmas, some Ghanaians have expressed their views on their spending plan ahead of the festive season, despite the consistent lamentations of hardships. According to some traders at Makola, they enjoyed last year's Christmas because business was quite okay as compared to this year's. However, they will celebrate the festivities since it's here. Some of them spoke to Adoa News, Adomba Mabina.
Daniel, who is a trader at Makola, says he will celebrate it the normal way he does with his family, by shopping for his children and spending family time.
A normal way of celebrating Brunyana, the affair to ye, ever coach up a crama of Fran, Nay, young Cocobia Buffia, a Brunya da, grant Betty near Kundia.
Kwame, who is also a trader, added that he will really celebrate it with his family, even though there is hardship. He emphasized on how Christmas is not about dressing and eating, but the need to pay tithe during Christmas.
So as a family man there, was any stuff like in Sukra, Abanukra, no Busian Matiasia, Yamisa, National Yamiti. Was he import the boy from Puibisa in the part of my bar? Other night I was from Shay. He had the cross in the Queen Yamba, a brilliant idea, and Nijan, you didn't the Beco Hebusian for so. Cause we to me the dear mamma and our party hall, so share. And I dear woman say a fiasco, say, be a piano tight, sick it in us of one to me kind of quarantine today. Brian bringing a mostly a tight apia. So we fear tight here. If he said, and I dear who bet you one word, and now you'll be the border. Until they make catch them in your beer, say, on Kaiser would piano tidy. The Yamia Yamano will boom, no way you be, they are Kodanya Mias.
Seth also opined that Christmas is for togetherness, so one needs to think of others too, and that he has plans of giving gifts to others, though he might not be able to do it as he wanted to because of economic hardship. However, he has prepared himself for the Christmas, so he will celebrate it.
I didn't know because on one cry I do something pension. He said, Namananga Sabedi and Yuka. Bruno was so idea and Kabuma dear. I was so decided, I don't want near whatever chair I want thing, who now for near more, or do for no more of a chomonoma. Or plans can class a child, but only say, how an is here expect to say, and Timanya because of system now in my idea. But all the same, no, Kakrabia and Sibina, we have a charm and also Obias on so in the Obetimedia Genenia, remember we say, Christmas, you know, if I saw a crab on the side, no, every to me, I never hold it, but in we say, 2 days aka na nyankopɔn bɛhyɛ ne ho animonyam ama ne ɛda yɛ akoma sɛ wɔ sɛ yɛ no nso ɛbɛtumi ayɛ de aboa yɛafofoɔ ne yɛnkasa yɛn so.
Imagine e-levy being implemented in these difficult times when virtually everything is on the increase. Ghanaians are complaining bitterly over the implication of the e-levy tax, which according to them is going to bring untold hardship.
If suspension of the tax is possible, then it should be suspended or an adjustment of the percentage, because whatever we do now, we do with mobile money. The e-levy will bring untold burden unto Ghanaians. They say it is for the betterment of the country and the people. So whatever they think is good for the country, they should do, says Mr. Seth, a trader at Mokola Market.
Oh, me because system no enya duru baby a system no kona one was so full. Also who kwan for so a obetimi the system na nante. Also ko use ka from mobile money. Now say that means who use mobile money. Now what on dey no be so stand scan am mobile money. Then now be system na enya duru baby don be say o man no ko bia no. And one say obo mpa say nyankopon ma wo akande a won so obetimi dey move on na e kono so. Also ko use ka na that means who person stop mobile money. Can you stop? Because we bet my about there or the sika on momo so until obey anything. Obey receive and I say obey because of whom person obey intino on to any money pan now seven.
The and say momo no.
The electronic levy will be too much for us to pay. I think it will be too much a burden for Ghanaians. We have gone to take our monies from our accounts because we are afraid of the outcome. If the e-levy is taken out, I may use Momo again, she said. Speaking to a mobile money vendor, she said, people come to ask if they have started with the e-levy because they want to withdraw all their monies, which has increased the rate of withdrawal.
No correct. Ebi mobile mo bisa. So much e-levy na se ana esi o there bi. Ebi mo ka se o e ba mbekwa koyi o musika nyina afiri MTN o. Omo fo musika ntuma omo ka pa ebi mobile mo ka. Na se no withdrawal no e do so esin deposit. Os e-levy ni nti ama kofo nshada mfasika nto omo account musa. Nti challenges are you facing? Say deposit in so and so yenya commission MTN for nye bicha eka, but withdrawal na eba bebre deposit ni de enshada amba papa biasa.
Moving on, Asansan Savannah Production Limited, a cross-sectorial entity that is leading its subsidiary organizations in the Savannah region with the goal of tackling domestic tourism, which facilitates prosperity across the tourism chain, accelerates inclusion and development, has launched a project to revive the Asian Gonja wrestling competition dubbed the Shertree on 22nd December 2021 at Damongo. Now, the Shertree is a package that will highlight the physical strength and valor of the region's young men through local wrestling and traditional music and dance activities that have been pushed to the margins over the years. Salifu Adam Jabu has the rest of the story.
The initiative aims to revitalize ancient traditional wrestling while also elevating the Savannah region to a higher level in terms of tourism and accelerate development. The encounters were accompanied by cultural performances similar to those used in the past to welcome great hunters known as the Kpana dance. Speaking at the launch of the project, Program Coordinator of Shertree, Bojingpri Mufti, said the initiative will empower young men and women economically, as each wrestler will be rewarded handsomely.
Mr. Chairman, as we all are aware, the tourism and hospitality industry has been identified as a strategic pillar for the transformation of our economy and the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda. Distinguished guests, the Savannah region is a hub of tourism in the north, if not the entire country. And we must take advantage of this indisputable opportunity to a notch higher. This enormous opportunity has the potential to boost the region in the area of tourism. Relevant to this discourse, Asansan Savannah Production Limited, a cross-sectional entity, is leading a subsidiary organizations around the world with the goal of tackling domestic tourism that facilitates prosperity across tourism chain, accelerate inclusion and development. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2019, Ghana hosted the Year of Return to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the transatlantic slave trade and celebrate African resilience resilience. Of return, we witness brothers and sisters visit our country from all parts of diaspora, bridging the gap between African in the diaspora and the African continent, also contributing to our country's economy in terms of revenue generation, job creation, and recognition in the international community. Now, with government initiating Beyond the Return, a project spanning a 10-year period, 2020 to 2030, to consolidate the gains made during the Year of Return, we must strategically place ourselves to reap the full benefits of this initiative.
The Municipal Chief Executive of the West Gonja, Mr. Musa Kasubari, on behalf of the Assembly said they will fully support the initiative, adding that a lot of job would be created if the youth takes local wrestling seriously.
And all our organizers and those who have donated this site for us to plant these activities. And also to thank the participant for the bold initiative. It's not easy for somebody to come out with this floor. All of a sudden, he has been floored out. It is a lesson for all of us, but they've taken this initiative, and all of us are here to witness. I must say a very big thank you to all of us. And I have no much to say. I have some Toki and Ghana cities for all the participants to take advice for this bold initiative that they have taken. It must be a gender balance, because we have seen only men here. And next time, on the next event, we will see my sisters also to take this part and to make it attractive. Thank you so much.
The park manager for the Molly National Park, Mr. Mahama Ali, also added,
I'm here to represent Molly National Park, and I want to say Molly National Park associates itself with this activity. We are very happy to collaborate with the Ansan team to make sure this is a possibility. I also want to say that for some time now, we have conducted surveys around Molly National Park, especially the visitors who come. And after the 2-day safari, most of the visitors, when they come, they do 2 nights. After the 2 nights, they don't have anything to do. So these are some of the opportunities that we can open up and get the visitors, visit Tamango and other communities, so that the actual and true benefit of Molly National Park spreads to everybody. I know we have little time, I will not want to speak much, but I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the organizers of this program and all those who have come here. Thank you very much.
On their part, the Ghana Tourism Authority and the National Youth Authority pledged to include the project in their action plan for next year, with the NYA playing a key role in ensuring the representation of the region in the upcoming All-African Games in 2023. The launch saw a contest between Borijinkri Mufti and Chief Angrowura Fatau, who know winner after the prolonged fight which got fans on their feet, including the MCE for West Gonja, who at the end
Meanwhile,
of
the modern bus terminal, which cost the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly a whopping 1.9 million Ghana cedis with funding from the World Bank under the Urban Development Grant, has been left at the mercy of the weather to deteriorate since 2016. The Datoili Bus Terminal project was initiated by the former chief executive of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, Abdul Hanan, during former President John Maham's administration. Nuruddin Ibrahim has more.
The Datoili Bus Terminal project was initiated by former Chief Executive of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, Honorable Abdul Hanan, during former President John Maham's administration. The modern bus terminal, which cost the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly a whopping 1.9 million Ghana cedis with funding from the World Bank under the Urban Development Grant, has been left at the mercy of the weather to deteriorate since 2016. The facility has been abandoned and taken over by weeds and reptiles ever since its completion 6 years ago. Thieves have bungled into some portions of the facility and made away with air conditioning, ceiling fans, electrical cables, among many other valuables. This was revealed to Adoa News during a visit to the facility. Some community members of Datoili are unhappy with the city authorities' inability to put the newly constructed bus terminal into use. Mr. Al-Hassan Yahaya, the youth leader of the area, in an interview said, "The terminal, when patronized, will enhance development and offer the youth of the area jobs." Moving the buses to this terminal will go a long way to enhance socio-economic activities in the area and also create jobs for us.
So onangle kana on to yukura 2016 ma kana on dazon dama damu ushige.
There are no jobs here. We are mainly farmers, and after the farming season, we move to Accra in search of greener pastures. I think this particular bus terminal can employ most of us. So I'm calling on the new mayor of Tamale, the central government, and the Metro Assembly to take a critical look at this facility. Unknown individuals have taken advantage of the situation to steal everything in the facility. They have even further destroyed some windows. When the facility is open for use, everybody in this community, especially the youth, both on the side of the MPV and NNDC, will largely benefit from it. Authorities at the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly are silent on the development when the news team reached out to them, but promise to respond in the appropriate time.
And Dr. Al-Hassan Suleimana Anamzoya, senior lecturer at the Sociology Department of the University of Ghana and former NDA CEO, has submitted a letter to the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture protesting and requiring the Honorable Minister to stop the premiering of a movie titled Savannah. Now, the movie, among other things, portrays the people of Dagbon practicing female genital mutilation, which, according to the petitioner, is untrue to the Dagbon culture. Now, the letter he copied the Minister of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs and the Office of Venus Films Production. When Dr. A.S. Anamzoya met with Mr. Abdul Salam Mumuni, the producer of the movie, at his office, where he explained that his mother is a Dagomba and therefore he is trying to promote the culture of his mother's people. Dr. Anamzoya used the opportunity to remind Mr. Abdul that female genital mutilation is alien and unknown to Dagbon, and therefore the said movie should not be premiered. In recent times, many Christians, especially the youth, prefer going to church with their phones instead of a book Bible. As with the advent of technology, one could access every scripture of the Bible on their phones. But could this replacing of book Bibles with mobile phones be a distraction or an opportunity? Isaac Otu has been finding out.
Phones and related gadgets is a major determiner in the lives of many in the society. Indeed, it is a necessary evil in the lives of many Christians. A companion that many cannot do without. Mobile phones and tablets can perform limitless functions with tailored applications like economic, social, and loose apps to suit the needs of users.
Gone were the days where you'd find many individuals on a Sunday morning heading to their various churches with a hard copy of their Bible. With the advent of technology, their story is different. As this time around, with just a tap away from your phone, you are able to access any and every scripture of the Bible. You enter into any church service at all and you find out that many individuals, the congregants who are of youthful age, have their phones instead of their Bible.
For the Director of Programs at the Anglican Diocese of Accra, Reverend Ekia Ofori Boateng, there are advantages as well as disadvantages, and she explains more.
Most people will forget their Bible, but they won't forget their phone. So if they have a copy of the Bible on their phone, you can rest assured that at least when you ask somebody to read something or you call out a particular passage, that there's quite a large likelihood that they will be able to find it. And that's the other thing, is that a lot of people don't really know where to find what in their Bible. So at least if you say John chapter 1, they will know. They don't have to flip through and figure, okay, does it come before Mark or after Mark? They don't have to figure those things out. So the nice thing about the online Bible is that it takes you straight to the reading, and also it gives you the option to look at the different types of versions. Some people get confused with King James; they prefer the NIV. So if you just have your physical Bible, it reduces your chances of being able to look at a different version. So those are some of the positive things. But of course, there's a disadvantage. One of the biggest disadvantages is that on the phone are other things, okay? And anytime you get a message on your phone, for instance, it pops up that you have a message. So even if you are indeed reading your Bible, the human mind does not have the ability to do two things at the same time. So the moment you even take your eye off to look to see, what message is that I just received. And there's always a temptation, because once you feel the phone vibrate, there's going to be the temptation to go and check, what message did I get? And that could lead to reading a whole host of things and ending up spending your whole time reading your WhatsApp or your text messages instead of being in the Bible.
The General Secretary of the Bible Society Ghana, Dr. Enoch Ayi-Atta, couldn't have agreed less with Reverend Nanekia Boateng.
We cannot also rule out the fact that it makes it handy for people and quick in referring to passages in the Bible. But the danger of that too is that instead of people even concentrating on the electronic Bible, so to speak, on their phones, they end up accessing other things whilst the service is going on. Realize that eventually they don't benefit as they would if the concentration was on the physical Bible.
He further observed that sales of book Bibles have increased with just some few days to end the year.
The sales have really picked up during the last few weeks to the end of the year, and it wasn't so in the month of October, for instance, and September. But going to November, December, we realized that it's picking up very fast. So it means that a lot of people are beginning to see that the Bible is important.
But for Reverend Nana Ekia Boateng, the question, however, is whether or not one can resist the temptation to swipe onto other appealing apps while feeling the urge to read the Bible on the phone? And what if one's attention is driven away by an inquisitive call or messages from people who cannot tell whether the receiver was reading or meditating on the scriptures?
And lately, people even take notes on their phone, which sometimes, as a priest, it looks like, are they listening to me or are they chatting on their phone, you know? But you realize later on that they were actually taking notes based on what you were saying. So it depends on the person. It can be a true disadvantage or it can actually be a real advantage depending on the individual.
According to Dr. Enoch Ayata, many have opted to the presenting of Bibles as gift instead of Christmas cards this Xmas season.
And these days, people also, instead of buying Christmas cards for people will rather buy the Word of God, which then it's more valuable, if you like. To ensure that you own a Bible for yourself, and indeed also buy one, and any gift that you are giving to a friend, add the Bible to it, because that is the Word of God. That is what brings life to us. And once you do so, you'll be helping the person into the new year and even thereafter.
From ancient times, Christians have been adept at using whatever extension of humanity available to them for the advancement of the gospel. The good news of Jesus can travel on both paper-bound books as well as glowing digital screens. Perhaps smartphones and the social media apps that drive their use of incredible opportunities for us today, even within our very own worship service.
Watching the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. We'll be right back with more news.
CB makeup now. Amaka correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures back on CB makeup sauce. Ah, you right here. Me see CB makeup sauce na make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the dada. And one year packaging I the pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules no packaging is out. And you also no mood any bianza no akodo pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. En ka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Back and thanks for staying with us. Moving on to some business news now. The Association of Mobile Money Agents has suspended its intended demonstration scheduled to take place today, Thursday, 23rd December 2021, against the government's proposed e-levy. Now, according to the association, the decision to suspend the strike follows Parliament's recess and its inability to receive its petition. The group also noted that the Ministry of Communications and the National Communications Authority have resolved to receive their petition for further deliberations. Here are excerpts of the statement.
The Association of Mobile Money Agents has suspended its intended demonstration scheduled to take place today, Thursday, 23rd December 2021, against government's proposed e-levy. According to the association, the decision to suspend the strike follows Parliament recess and its inability to receive its petition. The group also noted that the Ministry of Communications and the National Communications Authority have resolved to receive its petition to further on for demonstration. In a statement cited by Adoa Business News Desk, it said, and I quote, "We are by this communique calling on all members to hold on from going on strike or a demonstration as intended to to take place on 23rd December 2021, unquote. We know that our members are very resolute and poised to get on the street to fight for their protection of their business, but we cannot do away with the fact that we are Ghanaians and must be concerned about how we intend to make this strike or demonstration happen. The association noted in a statement issued on Wednesday, 22nd December 2021. The mobile money agents in the country intended to demonstrate and strike to express their displeasure against the 1.75% e-levy proposed in the 2022 budget. A statement signed by the General Secretary of the Mobile Money Agent Association, Mr. Ivan Sotumfo, to that effect said the union wishes to inform the general public, customers and users of mobile money that as part of its actions to register its total displeasure with the government's proposed e-levy of 1.75%, we deem it necessary to embark on an industrial strike. As an association that implements all mobile money policies through our operators, we see this e-levy as a regressive and critical to the survival of our business. Subsequently, as part of the demonstration on Thursday, 23rd December 2021, our services as mobile money agents will not be accessible across the country. All agents would go on strike, hence all our outlets remained closed. If our efforts remain futile, an indefinite action will be taken thereafter, the group's earlier statement noted.
Meanwhile, Ghana's economy expanded by 6.6% in the third quarter of this year, provisional data from the Ghana Statistical Service indicates. But in the same period of 2020, the growth rate was negative 3.2%. However, without oil, the economy grew at a rate of 8.6% in the 9 months of 2021. This is a significant increase from what was recorded in the same period last year, which was a contraction as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The main subsector that expanded in the quarter 3 of the 2021 are education 24.2%, health and social works 20.5%, information and communication 17.0%, professional, administrative and support 16.7%, hotel and restaurant 16.4%, public administration and defense, social security 16.3%, fishing 14.3%, real estate 11.5%, and crops 9.3%. From the sectorial growth rate, the service sector recorded the highest growth rate of 13.4%, followed by the agricultural sector with 9.2%. However, the industry contracted by 2.0%. This was as a result of the construction in the mining subsector, manufacturing 7.5%, water supply, sewage waste management and its activities 6.7%, electricity 5.1% and construction 1.7%. However, all recorded expansions in their subsectors. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobneinim explained that this is the highest growth rate since the second quarter of 2019, which recorded a 7.5% growth rate for non-oil GDP. According to the data, the service sector was the largest sector of the Ghanaian economy in the third quarter of 2021, with share of 45% of GDP at the basic price. The gross domestic product share for industry and agriculture were 31 and 24% respectively. Yearly quarterly GDP, July to September, GDP including oil and gas estimated at a constant from 2013 prices for the first quarter of 2021 was 43.09 billion Ghana cedis compared to 440 billion Ghana cedis in the third quarter of 2020. The non-oil GDP at constant from 2013 prices for the third quarter of 2021 was 39.974 billion Ghana cedis compared to 36.82 billion Ghana cedis in the third quarter of 2021.
That's all for business. Sports follow shortly.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Malaria nti abayiwa yedwuma bono malaria defo yawo nti awo ahwere ne customers ni wahu ne se maami aye smart apɛ CB Malakio amma ne baya odi ko school hwɛ sɛ aduane si berry market tie ni malaria nti a ontimi ni onia entina ho ema we mu biara to wo so we malaria test na ebi wo mu a edra bedi wa ene CB Malakio yedinu na ne hahama na akeka bom asone so aye CB Malakio edra we so de enya nyonkra o aye tata she
edra yi nyema apemfo abata ya woma womanfo ene nkoda woni mfie dumie
Suziana what would you
weekend FD ahwehwe saa ejadie nkrato yi mu agye atomu se eye.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Moving on to some sports updates now. Ghana's defunct boxing league has officially been launched today at the Bukom Boxing Arena in Accra. The competition is expected to begin in February 2022 with juvenile, amateur and professional boxing championships on regular Saturday nights at 12 boxing gymnasiums.
Bouncing back after 16 years break, the Professional Boxing League would provide a regular subsidized competition platform for all categories of boxers within the boxing industry chain that encompasses juvenile, amateurs, and professionals to nurture their skills in a competitive setting. The league will provide an opportunity for the Technical Directorate of the Ghana Juvenile Boxing Board, the Ghana Boxing Authority, and the Ghana Boxing Federation to assess the development of the fighters in the competition. Speaking at the launch, President of the Ghana Boxing Authority, Mr. Abraham Nikwe, said that as part of their efforts to achieving their vision, they won 4 African champions, 3 national champions, and will also organize a special awards night to award boxers.
For the period under review, since I took over this year as the GBA president, we have won 4 Africa Championship titles, 3 national titles already won, and many others scheduled to take place on 24th, 25th, and 26th December of this month. Boxing has brought more international honor than any other sporting discipline in Ghana. And I know you say it is true. Yes.
The league system is expected to keep professional boxers active, shape their talent, and project them to the rest of the world via television. Marketing executive of IMAX Media Group Alhaji Fadi Fatal said the Boxing League will provide a platform where boxers will be made and are made and will be staged weekly in February on Saturday night. After his speech, the 2 parties signed the contract.
President and our other members who spoke earlier, as well the introduction of the Ghana Professional Boxing League. That's going to be where champions will be made, and they are made. So that's another platform for our boxing. The President said in what we are investing, which is $340,000 US annually, which comes over the 5 years to $1.7 million, but it is broken down into different categories. Before we go into that one, we want to as well announce that IMAX Media Group, it's an official licensed promoter and as well manager, which means we have all the license to operate within the boxing fraternity.
The new Professional Boxing League is a collaborative effort of Ghana Boxing Authority and IMAX Media Group, signed a 5-year developmental deal at the Ground Lounge. The sponsorship package offered by IMAX Media Group is $1.7 million US for 5-year period, with a breakdown of $450,000 US annually. The annual budget of $450,000 US goes into boxers' purse, allowance for ring officials, production costs, live coverage, and publicity. The league will bring about healthy competition among boxers and gyms, as well as needed rivalry among communities such as Bukom, Choko, Jamestown, Accra Newtown, Teshi, La, and other boxing gyms in Sunyani, Keta, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. Boxers in the Boxing League radar are expected to benefit from cash and product to keep them motivated and healthy throughout the period.
And away from boxing, Al Ali has beaten Raja Casablanca on penalties to win their 2nd consecutive Cup Super Cup under Pito Musimani. Now the 2021 CAF Super Cup took place between Champions League winners Al Ali and Moroccan giants Raja Casablanca, who were crowned as Confederation Cup champions in Doha, Qatar.
Al Ali retained the Confederation of African Football Super Cup after beating Raja Casablanca on penalties following a 1-1 draw in Qatar. The Moroccans looked set to lift the trophy after taking the lead in the 13th minute, but Taher Mohammed's last-minute equalizer sent the game to spot kicks. A high-quality shootout went to sudden death after both sides netted their first 5 attempts, with the keepers barely having a chance to make a save. But with the score at 6-5, Raja defender Abdalia Matkur lifted his effort narrowly over the crossbar to hand Al Ali their record 8 Super Cup. The Egyptians heavyweights had reached the final in Doha after lifting the African Champions League title for the 10th time. Al Ali has the chance to add Intercontinental Silverware to their African title when they play in the FIFA Club World Cup in February next year. However, the date for the tournament clash with the final stages of the African Cup of Nations, when many of their key players could still be on duty in Egypt. FIFA President Gianni Infantino and CAF President Patrice Motsepe were on hand in Ter Ahmad bin Ali Stadium in Doha to present Al Ali with a trophy.
That is all for tonight on the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. A recap of our top stories. With a day more to Christmas, one may assume that you've prepared your budget with other spice. Do you intend adding to this year's Christmas treat for your family or loved ones? We spoke to some Ghanaians. And President of the National House of Chiefs, Nana Ojiahoho Yao JB II, has described recent actions of members of Parliament just before Parliament's adjournment as unfortunate. And in business, the strike action as planned by mobile money agents has been called off. Why this happened, we gave you that. And in sports, Al Ali, for the 8th time in the history of the CAF Super Cup, has swept the championship trophy. Log on to our website www.adanewsonline.com. My name is Benedict Adodu. Remember, the evening news is brought to you by Blue City Tires and Accessories and Verna Mineral Water. Always remember to follow us on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana. Thanks for staying with us. Enjoy the rest of our program.